Co-creators, welcome to my kitchen where the magic happens. I'm Michelle, and I'm here to guide you through the energy of the week of October 14th to the 20th. I want to make sure that you get all of the things. Now, if you enjoy this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and share this video with any of your friends that maybe are into all of this kind of stuff. Let's dive into the astrology, the energy, and your reading for this week. This week kicks off with communication will be really deep and maybe a little mysterious. People might be holding back a little bit, but it'll still be that kind of deep stuff. So even if you feel like people are holding back, make sure you read between the lines and see what's unsaid there. And maybe ask for clarification because sometimes we might interpret and fill in blanks with stories that are not necessarily true. So make sure that you ask questions if you don't have clarity and trust your intuition. Then on the 14th, you might feel like you're getting triggered by things by the people closest to you. A lot of times our triggers are not about what's going on right now. They're about what's happened in the past. Stay grounded, go in within, take a breath, take a step away and ask yourself, when is this from? Because it may not necessarily be from now, yet it's being triggered because it needs to be healed. So even if the beginning of the week is a little bumpy, everything will be okay and a little bit more fun by the end of the week. The big deal this week is the full moon in Aries on Thursday. This is bold, action oriented because Aries, it's all about a few different things. First, it's all about who am I? We're back to that same place where we were in the new moon in Aries a couple of moons ago. So, what that means is this is the bookend to this whole process of discovering who you are. The North Node is in Aries. So, really focusing on where am I going? Who am I going to be when I get there? Really allowing you to harvest full moon, all of that stuff that is all about who you are, where you want to go, getting rid of all those shoulds. Libra is about balance and harmony in relationships. And sometimes we need to let go of what other people's baggage has been related to us, giving that baggage back to them or just getting rid of it altogether so you can stand in who you are and where you want to go and getting the things done and manifest the shit out of all this stuff. So this full moon is about harvesting that energy that is not necessarily selfish because that's low vibrational Aries, but more really standing in your truth, rounding into who you are and harvesting all that action oriented stuff that'll make you move more and more towards who you are. And that full moon is going to really help it. So maybe a fire ceremony might work to release, maybe checking in with all the intention you've set before the eclipse and all that kind of stuff. Maybe do some journal entries like, where am I now? Do I feel really good about that? What else do I need to do to step further into myself? That kind of thing. So it's a great time right now with that full moon to take charge of your path and manifest those goals. So remember, manifesting, it's focusing on what you want, not on what you don't want. Don't focus on what you don't have. Don't focus on the absence of what you want. Just focus and make a list of what you want. And maybe because it's a full moon, let's focus on making a list of all the things that went right for us since the new moon in Aries. Okay. And that will include all the eclipse stuff that might have been messy, but it's still okay and good. So now that we've checked in with what's going on in the cosmos, let's do our collective card pull. I'm going to share with you which card decks I'm using this time. And if you love them, you can grab them. I will put the links down in the description in case you love them. So the card deck we're going to be working with this week is Denise Linn's The Sacred Forest Oracle. And I love this one. It's so pretty. So card number one, again, we're going to be focused on what is the energy that we're stepping into this week. Card number two is going to talk about and speak to our transformation. Card number two. And card number three is about balance and stuff like that. Card number one is all about the energy of us stepping into our power. And card number one is renewal. And let me pull it up right there. Renewal. Because, and isn't she pretty, like a little fairy hanging out with the frog prince with a crown on it? Lots of purple flowers and lots of green. So we have, because this is a forest deck. So heart centeredness. I love that. First of all, the whole thing is heart centered. And if we're going to be stepping into this energy of renewal, what that means when I see renewal, and this may resonate with you, is that you may not be starting from scratch. There's none of this reinventing the wheel kind of thing going on right now. It's much more you're at a point where you're like, I really loved this and I'm keeping this, but I'm going to renovate it and renew it and repurpose it. A lot of times when we go through these kinds of shifts, we drop everything and start something new, like totally burn everything down and start something new and rise from the ashes. To me, this is much more doing a renovation project. Like I love my little cottage that I'm living in, but maybe I need to knock out a wall and expand it. Maybe I need to renovate the kitchen or the bathrooms. Think of it more of that kind of project that you're doing internally. We're renewing our energy, we're recharging. And I think because we do have Mars in retrograde right now, which is like slowing down and taking stock of projects. So this fits really well, especially with that overarching energy, the energy of this week. And then this card for the guidance for the collective is renewal. So focus on whatever it is, your number one project that you're focused on because of what's gone on in the last couple of weeks and this past summer, that it's not so much I'm burning everything to the ashes. It's more, what do I got to work with? Do I just need to have a project to renovate all that? I think that's it. Revisit your stuff, take your time to ground into really who you are. And then when you declutter and you have your three bins, you have the toss it, give it to Goodwill or have it at a garage sale or keep it, but maybe figure out a new purpose for it. We're focused on that last bin that we're keeping and repurposing. Okay. So that's what renewal is for. Then, secondly, we're going to talk about transformation. So, the energy of this particular thing is where is our transformation and change going to happen as we dive deep into the shifts that are going on around us because of all of this stuff. So, I love this is Secret Spring. So Secret Spring is success because what it's about is there's a spring I didn't know was there. Oh my goodness. Look at the abundance flow that's coming in that I didn't wasn't aware of. As I'm doing this renewal, tapping back into some previous knowledge, maybe some previous activities I loved, but then they fell off. And I want to do them again, but I want to do them in a different way. With that renovation project that you're doing on your inner self, success comes. And success can show up as opportunity. It can show up as this feels really good. Maybe it's a hobby that you're doing, that you're renovating, and that feels good. It could be I'm shifting stuff in my business, or maybe I'm making some moves in my career, and then they are fruitful. So the transformation that's happening here is going to be really successful as you do move into that space of grounding into that new version of you, renewing that. See where I'm going? Renewing that, and that brings success. And finally, our third card is Spirit Guardian of Summer. So this is telling me two things. One, all this stuff that's going on this week will really be seeds we're planting for expansion that's coming in the summer of 2025. So the fact is that all of your work right now, all of your renewal work and really taking it slow and not jumping in. I don't know about y'all. I used to be one of those get shit done kind of girls. I have friends. If you're watching this, you know who you are. We were like the running buddies and all we did was GSD this, GSD that. And now we all are taking things a lot more slowly. And that's what I'm doing with the renewal of how I am running this channel, my business, because I love what I do. I think this is the whole crux of it. I love what I do. So you may love what you do, whether it be a hobby or your business or your career or even relationship. You may love the thing, but how can I polish it up and repurpose it in a way that creates success? So renewing to create success and that transformation of these two things creates even more expansion that will come in the summertime. So notice how these two things here are darker and they're in nighttime and there's a moon right here. That's because we're in October. And as we're in October, we are closing down for the season, right? It's much more going into internal work. And as we do that, we're planting seeds, we're touching base and checking in with ourselves. And that's what this really great part of the Mars in retrograde allows us things to slow down so we can check in with self. And that's for the next 6 months, which makes sense because we're going into fall and winter. So we're checking in, we're checking our seed stores, we're maybe reorganizing the pantry, maybe planning our gardens for next year. and thinking of both literally and within the deep dive of self, and knowing that come summer, we're going to have huge amounts of expansion because we took things slow. Instead of GSDing things, doing internal work, planning, laying the groundwork, maybe doing some things now. So come summer, everything's going to be even more transformational and expansive. So that's our energy for the week as a collective. And I hope this is resonating with you. If you are loving this video and you're loving all of this, go ahead and comment below. Let me know what resonates with you out of this reading. And if you love it so much that you want to share it with others, please go ahead and share it on your socials, share it, send it as an email, whatever you do. But just, I always am saying if it supports you, it'll support others. Sharing is caring. So go ahead and share. Okay, so now let's shift into personal readings. Maybe you have a question on your heart. Maybe you already know if you were sitting across the table from me and it was time for you to have a reading with me personally, what would you ask me? And sometimes it's, oh God, you're putting me on the spot. I don't have a question. Oh my God, but I want to know. So it's okay. Don't worry. What I normally tell people is just take a minute, center yourself, drop your mind into your heart center and just say, Spirit, whatever I need to know, please tell me that. Just tell me whatever it is that I need to know for this week. Okay, that's it. So go ahead and ask your question internally. You can even, if you feel good about it and you want to share, please comment your question below right now. And then what we're going to do is I will pull 3 cards. So I'm going to just keep shuffling. So I want you to think of your question. If you want to jot it down and share in the comments, you can. Then choose the number 1, 2, or 3 and post that in the comments. And then I will pull cards and we'll do the reading. Okay, here we go. So go ahead and make your comments. Card 1. Okay. Oh, beautiful. So for those of you who picked card number 1, you got Owl Spirit, which is wisdom. Isn't that a beautiful card? I love it. So my number ones, we got Owl Spirit, which is wisdom. Mm. Okay. So I love this card because a lot of it is red, and red to me is root chakra, security, and discernment. And wisdom is also when we take knowledge and we get rid of any emotional baggage to it and then integrate it and then we act on it. That's wisdom. It's the previous experience that has the charge basically removed, and you can work from that space of grounded wholeness in your discernment. Don't overthink it. Sit down, tap into your heart energy, get grounded into earth energy, and then really start asking yourself and your intuition. That's another one. Owl Spirit is also about intuition and being in the dark. So you might have everybody confused around you, or you might have a situation that feels confusing, but your intuition, if you allow it, will guide you to discerning, seeing in the dark. So even if something is confusing, you can weed through all the things and you will get there, but you have to step out of worry and fear to do it. So make sure, number one, that whatever is going on that you are seeking discernment on, which is like understanding, um, getting the truth, all that kind of stuff. If you just take it down a notch, get rid of your worry, get rid of your fear, what will happen is there will be clarity and discernment, and you will feel secure. You will feel taken care of. All your needs will be met. That's what I'm seeing here. A lot of the red is to me around the root chakra, which is all about security and safety and stuff like that. So if that's where your worries are, just quiet everything down and listen to your still small voice, your intuition, and that'll weed out all the crap so that you can have wisdom in your decision making. So if that's what it is, that's really give the angels your worry, let them take it away so that you can integrate your experience and knowledge into wisdom and act from a wisdom place. Okay, number ones, that is your reading for this week. Then number twos, what do we have here? Okay, number twos, what we have is dragon spirit. And I love the glowing ball right there because whenever I see that, whatever deck it is, it's so funny. Manifesting and stuff like that is got this little glowing ball there. And dragons to me are also like protectors. So if you have been feeling a little bit unsafe around being who you are, stepping into your power. And like I said earlier, the North Node is in Aries, which means we are focused on really who are we, stepping into our truth, stepping into our power, speaking truth to power about who we are, what we're doing, what we're here to do, that kind of thing, which can be really scary. So, number two is this, if this is your card, if that's what's going on for you, taking your power back. See how the dragon in the picture is really guarding that little ball of light, and that little ball of light is you. So, think of it that way. So, the dragon knows the true you. The dragon knows who you're supposed to be, your divine purpose, your soul purpose, meeting your life purpose, and manifesting the life that you were meant to live at your highest level. So when you're doing that, Dragon Spirit is here to tell you, number twos, that it's time for you to set aside any fear or worry about stepping into your power. And the energy of the cosmos is even supporting this kind of transformation. It's time. It's the perfect time for you to transform and stand in your power and shine your light and do whatever you have to do and know that you are protected in doing so. Okay. That doesn't mean bad things won't happen. That doesn't mean people won't say nasty things. It just means that maybe changing our perspective. Like if somebody comes and says nasty things, like I've had people on the channel come and be like, you're doing this and you're doing that and that, blah, 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 blah. And I just go, apparently something's in you is resonating with what I'm saying. And if they're really mean, I go, delete. So that hater's going to hate, shine your light anyway, because it's time to step back into your power, number twos. And that is your reading for this week. So time to step back into your power, and the energy of the week is supporting you all the way around. Number three. Now, this is funny. If you chose number three, you got the same card as the one that was for the collective, which is the expansion card. Spirit of Guardian of Summer, meaning expansion. Number three, here's the deal. It's time to get to work for you. It's really funny because, like most people, we're all being invited to start getting into hibernation and go in the cave. Number three is you, however, either are going to work in the cave or you're like, that's not your jam right now. Your jam right now is to start going out there and planting seeds and doing the work and doing whatever it is that you need to do because you're feeling that expansion energy. Just because everybody else is going one way doesn't mean you have to follow. For you, if you pick number three, what am I supposed to be doing? You're supposed to be doing the work. There's the chop wood, carry water, rest cycle. And then there's the reaping the benefits. Right now, you are in chop wood, carry water. It's time to do the work. And if you were farming, you would be planting your seed rows, turning the soil to create the compost and do all the things. I'm not really a gardener. I'm going to learn that because we have a yard now. But if you are and you know what I'm talking about, it's time to get that soil ready to be fertile and to plant the seeds in there so that come summer, you will have this great harvest and it'll be huge and expansive. So number three is it's time to get to work. No more lollygagging around. Okay. It's time to get to work so that when summer comes, you are ready. Time to expand. And you might be doing all that stuff right now. So number three, I'm sorry to tell you, you might not be hibernating so much this winter. You may be in your little cave journaling, writing stuff down, sending emails, doing whatever it is that you have to do. Maybe repurposing or redrafting your resume if you're looking for a new job. Maybe putting together a business plan if you're putting together a business. I don't know, canning, getting your can tree ready for winter, or planting your seeds or starting your seedlings or whatever it is that you're doing. Like you might be like, I guess in farming, it would be like tending your winter garden. Okay. So number three is you're still going to be a little busy right now, but it's okay because at the end of it, the abundance, the expansion that will come from your hard work is going to be like, oh my gosh, it's going to be fantastic. Now, if you love this, if you loved our collective reading, if you love this personalized reading and you're like, I want more, I want my own, I want to sit across the kitchen table from you, Michele, and I want us to do a reading together. If that is you, go ahead and find that link in the description to schedule your personal reading. I do one-on-one readings via Zoom, and it'll be what it may look like this. It may not, because when I do channeled readings, it may be just you ask a question and spirit tells you the answer, but we might pull cards. We might not. We might do something else. We mix a little bit of coaching, we mix a little bit of spirit intuition and whatever else comes and cards and whatnot so that we can have a great reading to make sure when you leave, you feel 100% better and more comfortable than when you got there. And you will receive a recording of your video and you'll receive any resources that I share with you or spirit shares with you in an email right after your reading. So if that sounds good and you want to work together with me personally, you can go ahead and make your appointment. I have a few openings in October. The link is down in the description. That's it, my friends. Go out and co-create amazing things. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, if you love the video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And until next time, I will see you in the vortex. I love you so much. Have a great rest of your week and enjoy that full moon. Bye. Love you.